of Knowlarity Communications. We are sitting currently in the company. We are a cloud telephony company. We provide hosted PBX system for SMBs. And digital marketing is very important for us. Every lead that, every sale that happens, like the sale has come through digital marketing, web-based, the email marketing that we end up doing, writing emails, collecting emails, currently doing SEO and SEM. But we developed kind of a company where 200 people, Salesforce just is fed the leads which come through web and SMS and email and all different places. So I don't know what I can add more to the digital marketing in general, but any question that I can ask or Ankit can answer, you just go ahead.
Any questions you would like to add up, or if you have for Ankit or Anirudh, you can ask them right now. If you have something, yeah.
You asked about collecting the emails, how to use that email.
So whenever, for example, I'm going to collect my emails from my blog today, right? So one of the most common and very important ways to, whenever you push out a new update, whether it is your product, your blog, anything, you probably blast off an email to the subscribers telling them about it. So this could help you again. These sites like these, HubSpot and Moz, how do they get a lot of traffic? Because they already have a lot of big subscriber base, and whenever there is an update, they push it to all their subscriber base, and automatically when you have a lot of people liking your content, they come back to see your new content, and you have again.
I've done tourism education websites, learn tourism. I got a response from a company in mustseeindia.com.
Yeah, so mustseeindia.com is a very good example.
Fourth largest portal.
How many of you know about Must See India?
And they want me to review their website.
So it's a very good opportunity.
They are telling me to review it, and they want exchange on FB and Twitter and after that.
It could be a very good opportunity for you. Just so that he mentioned Must See India, I'm sure you must have heard about Clear Trip or Make My Trip, sites like those. But they spend a lot of time and of course a lot of money on paid discovery or paid channels. But there is this website called Must See India. They get a lot of traffic which is completely free of cost inbound. They do the same thing and they have absolutely free. The traffic is absolutely free for them.
Just one question. So with Gmail's new promotion folder, I mean, what can marketers do about it?
Okay, I wrote a post about it in fact. If Anirudh would like to. So the biggest problem which marketers are facing right now is with the Google's new promotion tab, all your emails, even if somebody is subscribed to, would go directly into the promotions tab. So what you need to remember here is that the new thing which now is textual content. So for example, about 2 weeks back we did a small test in which we had about 3 lakh email IDs from our subscriber base on Olympus. So we did a small A/B test. We sent an email with images and a typical way a newsletter would look like to one set, and the other was sent a textual mail, completely text, right, with personalized name and stuff like that. So it was able to reach the inbox. We used AWS, Amazon Web Services, to SES, Simple Email Service, and it reached the inbox. So the kind of click-through rates we got from the textual mailer were 5 times more than the one from the typical
basically HTML is dead.
So unless and until you have a followership and then somebody would actually pick out you from the promotions tab and drag you to the primary tab, going with the textual mailers for now is the thing. If you're using MailChimp.
Even to send a text.
So MailChimp, again, if you send a textual mail, I would suggest instead of using MailChimp and all these websites, because they do place some images inside your content, even if they are not visible to you. You track opens, right? I would suggest writing it yourself. Amazon SES does not has to be it's not very technical. You probably can find a tutorial online and set it up within a day. So if you create your own HTML emails, I think they would help you a lot.
Sorry, what do you say?
Amazon SES. AWS is the overall cloud service which can provide Amazon Web Services, and SES is the service, Simple Email Services, very effective, makes you reach the inbox, not the stuff.
But Ankit, if I cannot track who has opened my email, for instance, I have recently installed Signals from HubSpot, which kind of does the same, and you also have something called Yesware. Unless I can track who has opened my email and who has actually clicked on the link and come back, how do I keep my list relevant? I don't want to keep sending it to people who are not opening it, right?
So, there are two things here. Of course, there is a drawback that you cannot track. The moment you put your images in it, it would not go to the primary tab. But more important thing which you're tracking is the clicks, which you can still track, right? When somebody clicks on that link and open your website, you can still track it, the source, from which they came. So which is why I mentioned, we got 5x more clicks than the newsletter. We could not track the opens because the email opens can only be viewed unless and only if you have that small pixel image or something inside the email.
But the links can, is there any way of...
No, you can put yourself, when somebody clicks on the link, you could create a small script in PHP. What it would do is when somebody opens it, that script would probably do a +1 on the counter and let you know. And you can create such links, quite easily using softwares also like MailChimp connection. So it's pretty easy to do that.
So you're saying use all text email and then
I would suggest
as a call to action use a short link like or
even short links would help you. He has given a very good example. You could create short links using Google. So I would say, just a moment, I'll just say that you could probably go ahead and do an A/B test with your email subscriber base. But for me, text your mailers work.
What is exactly the short link?
The short link thing is there are websites like called
Bitly or G-O-O.gmail. That's a short link, right? So what you do is if your call to action is say .com, right? So I'll put in .com, you give me a short link and every link which is happening, right? So all my Facebook promotions, right? Through which a lot of you must have got here, right? So on all Facebook promotions we use a short Google link and then I am able to track not just the actions on the Facebook post but also every link, every click which has happened on that. So if I promote it for maybe 1 day, I'll be able to see that 200 or 250 clicks have happened on this post. And it will also give you more analytics on the numbers of or the geography of the places from where you're getting I'm not sure, not that deep, but yeah, we get very basic analytics.
Like at what particular time supposedly got more response?
Google does not do that. Bitly, I'm not sure.
Google doesn't do that.
Google short
Google for sure. Yeah, they can help you make graphs, and I think Bitly does that.
They are posted at 9 o'clock, but Google posted at 4 o'clock. So how do you, I would like to ask Ambarish, how in your organization you promote yourself digitally again?
What are the products? You have done inbound marketing and you've done Google AdWords as well. So what was the ROI as you kind of the news you got?
Of course, inbound marketing is free, right? So it is like infinite, really. No, so what we end up doing really is this SEO that we do through a lot of content. So we basically said, what is going to be our, what will we want to be known as? So given that we are in cloud telephony, so any search that happens over telephony, and then we kind of went to Google AdWord tool to find out what keywords actually get searched, and based on that we decided let's just focus on telephony because a lot of searches are on there. And we create a very large knowledge repository of telephony related things on Google so that you can get that kind of traffic, and we talk about telephony in general. So that is how we try to do SEO. The SCM, search engine marketing, right? So there we basically is a Google ad keywords that we tie up, and then I don't know the details, so a little bit out of it now, but what you end up doing is look at the keywords and then what kind of competition those keywords have, and then what you might find out is there are some keywords which don't have that much of traffic, but their kind of tail keywords are very inexpensive. There's no competition, so you rather go and get those keywords. So we try to get traffic using these two mechanisms, and then there are landing pages on Drupal that we end up building, and then there's a tool called Unbounce that we end up using, through which you do A/B testing to figure out where you are getting better conversion, and that is how you end up getting signups, which is email address and phone number. So once you have that sign up, that the sales guys can reach out to them to try to convert them to paid member. But even if it doesn't convert, let's create the email list, and that email list you can start engaging. And for us, the discovery again was right from the beginning. We were very careful about not abusing the email list, which is basically wanted to make sure that every email should look like that it actually has gone from somebody who kind of wrote it down. So it should say, hello Mr. Kisorji, blah 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 blah. Very personalized content and text. Never been really big fan of images at all, because if what you value most is the very personalized email that you get from people. If nobody writes, puts images and HTML and all this stuff when they write to you. So we wanted to have as personalized as email as possible. So we would put the name, and then the second thing is the content based on industry will switch. So if the person is real estate, will write something else. If somebody is from another industry, will write something else. We would also switch the phone numbers that we put, right? So everything could be personalized and we could track them when somebody click on it. So that is how we ended up doing customer engagement. We also do Facebook advertising. They are just very really good tools that have come up really on Facebook. Facebook CRM is amazing because with an email list you can actually target people. So Facebook, Google, these are two big things that we use, and Google search engine marketing and search engine optimization. These are the two things that we do. Just consolidate everything and look at this whole funnel and try to tweak at every stage by doing a lot of A/B testing to get more juice out of it.
So Ambarish, based on your A/B testing, I believe what you're saying is that even if you have a fantastically attractive HTML email and you have a plain text email with a text and everything else remains the same, but I mean even the HTML one is personalized, so you have the person's name and you have everything, but because it looks more like a commercial mail and a newsletter, people would actually read the plain text email.
Yeah,
likelihood and the likelihood of them clicking it would be more because it looks more natural.
Exactly, and who are we fooling? I mean, we are also the consumer of these emails, right? When you get this newsletter email which says, "Do you want to see the picture?" Turn on the picture. I mean, you just swipe, right? Yeah, you just swipe, right? And there's another thing which we kind of recently started doing, which is we call excuse alert, which is based on the usage for our existing customer and the base of some other information for the emails which are not our customer. We try to create certain emails. For example, Holi, Diwali or New Year, these will be excuse to reach out to people who are not your customers. And a new product feature set launch or there has some change in the usage of the customer, that will be an excuse to reach out to your existing customer. And when you reach out to the customer, then you can talk about a bunch of other things as well, right? So what we really wanted to do is, and I've constantly been trying, I think halfway really, when we are doing engagement with the customer, is a scalable automated system which is as close to people writing email, people writing manual emails where the person who's writing manual knows everything about you. So the other end has highest chances of conversion and the people reading it. Somebody who knows everything about you as a customer, your usage, which industry you are from, bunch of things, will write really, really relevant email at the right time, right? But it is not scalable. I mean, you cannot do that for 10,000 of customers. So you need to use automated systems to replicate this behavior as close as possible. Of course, you will not be 100% there, but as close as you can, that will be best. And then if you look at the format that person is going to write text email, right? The timing that person is going to write email when it is relevant. The content in it is going to be extremely personalized and is going to be talking about that person's specific case. So that is we try to emulate. I think we are not 100% there, but that is what we keep kind of trying, and that is how engagement end up being. It's like just if I were the other side of the table, what kind of email I would like to get. That's the kind of email I would like to get. So HTML versus text, clearly, HTML, our assumption thesis right from the beginning has been that HTML images, they may look flashy, but who are you fooling? I mean, I would spend less time on it rather than text email than I did.
You mentioned a tool for tracking, you're doing your A/B test or something.
Unbounce for landing pages optimization. We use Google SendGrid and Amazon SCS, simple email service. Incredibly inexpensive. What you realize that compared to everything, right? This is cheaper, far cheaper, right? But you have to use API, hook it up on the API.
But looking at deliverability rates, Which of these services, MailChimp or Amazon, which one has?
Yes, so far I've done a comprehensive study on this and we've used pretty much all the options available. But SES has so far worked, as far as the pricing is concerned, has worked best for us. And deliverability is also awesome. They also give you feedback about the bounces, which you can then remove from your next mail blast. And even he mentioned unbounce, like, they also use the inbound marketing big time. They let you create landing pages, they have fixed templates or you can customize on them and then use A/B testing to tweak them and make them perfect.
So can you make out which ones, whether if it landed in junk or not with this Amazon one? Because with MailChimp, I don't think you can make out.
So you cannot know if it landed in junk by any tool available, but you can track, of course, opens unless if you put that email. But then the important thing is, AWS and all are trusted sources. So all the big email, service providers like Yahoo or Gmail, they typically would treat all emails from search SES as authentic, and they'll put them in the primary tab, in the inbox, unless and until the user is marked them as spam.
And Google, Amazon SES is also very unforgiving. So if you do something bad, right, you're banned, right, for some time, which is good for you, because if you're doing good, then you select group of people which Amazon SES allow really, and the bad benefit that you get is all the good stuff that we're talking about, which is being not in the secondary tab but in the primary tab, and getting more attention really from the customer also.
But what do you mean by back? Because the worst they can get is you may have 5 people unsubscribing on a single email.
Amazon temporarily cancel your account. They can still ban.
In fact, if your bounce rates are very high.
Even MailChimp does that.
Amazon SES is more unforgiving.
If you have more than 5% bounce rates, you will typically, for a period of more than 1 month, if you are maintaining more than 5% bounce rates, they will typically put you under suspension.
So bounce rate is the issue.
Bounce rate is the biggest issue, and then the complaints which you get. These are the two panels or matrix which are available right in front of you when you open it.
So how do you define bounce in emails?
Bounce rate is when you send an email and the email ID does not exist for whatsoever reason.
Which means you've been buying email lists.
Yeah. So another very good thing which we did on, even when you do SEO, PPC, stuff like that, you will get people who would put random email addresses which are not valid. So what we do is we get feedback from SES, the email IDs which have bounced, and then we remove them from the email.
One thing that we ended up doing really was use a really low quality email provider to kind of send an email first, and we pretty much know that every email from this provider is going to go to junk. But then you can clean the email list, all the new subscriptions that end up happening on the website. You can pretty much clean the email list because they'll tell you the bounce, and everything which doesn't bounce is goes to junk. So if you're not hurting the customer, you know what email address are incorrect, and then you use SCS. The second
And what would that scapegoat be? Can you suggest?
Just search bulk email on Google, right?
No, I mean that would be drastic. That would be a little too desperate. But
No. So it's just a bulk email Google on India, and then you look at the rates, and you basically go to the one which is providing you, saying, I'll provide you crores of email addresses and everything at like very, very low price. Take that one. Because anybody who's doing this, if their servers are not blacklisted, will be blacklisted in like a couple of months. So it's the right choice really.
If it's too good, if it sounds too good, it probably is. So
just make sure they're actually sending you an email when you give them. So you have to do a test, kind of make sure that you are receiving the email. You'll receive it, just check it. You want it to be sent. That's the minimum thing that you want.
the search providers may not even actually send the email.
Yeah. So what you basically ended up, you put some sprinkles of your own emails in it, so that you know that this guy is
This
sending.
also helps if your data is being stolen. So these sprinkles can help you track if somebody stole it.
I was actually referring to what service you would use to send the emails in the first place before
You
using.
can use pretty much anybody. Just go on. Probably not a service worth remembering the name of. So you could use it. Because it's anyways you don't want it to go into the inbox.
Right.
What you do is ad push-up.
So ad push-up, as I mentioned initially, we are doing optimization for publishers. Web publishers are saying is that web publishers spend a lot of time, creative time, editorial time, putting out content, and they are not being paid. Because CTRs have dropped a lot, so they are not being paid enough. So we help them optimize their ads using advanced testing, advanced A/B testing, which is multi-arm bandit, and use it to optimize and increase their click-through rate, CTR and eCPM, RPM, revenue per thousand impressions, effective cost per thousand impressions, stuff like that. So we help publishers.
Just one last question. So, what is the way to get more publicity from the advertising market?
How to get more YouTube subscribers? Create viral content.
I mean, that's already there, but I mean, so the point is that when you talk about YouTube advertising, there's a lot of emphasis on pushing the content. So I can advertise my videos, but how can I get more subscribers?
See, if I were in a place where I had to,
So I was saying that you have call to action in all the places in the world. So you should have the person who's in the video saying to subscribe to your channel, right? So that's one of the biggest things you should look for, and then you can have annotations in the video. So that works really well for me.
if I were to do it, I would probably look it from a content point of view. First thing is that you could look at creating some sexy content, good content about it. But there are businesses like where you can't create such viral content. In such cases, you can create educational content. And it's not that educational content cannot go viral, it does and it has. You could probably, to get that initial push, you could use a site like StumbleUpon. So StumbleUpon could paid advertising on StumbleUpon costs about 10 cents a visitor, actual real visitors, and that initial push can be taken from StumbleUpon.
But has it got any traffic?
Yeah. But then again, another thing which you have to remember is StumbleUpon, by the way, has a lot of traffic from India. But when you create a campaign, you normally do not aim. Again, that depends upon your product and what you're targeting. But yes, the answer is yes, that you get a lot of traffic. Yes, that's it.
Any more questions?
One question, the kind of stats that we get about what are the most likely times when somebody is going to read a Facebook post, or when somebody is actually going to read yeah, but that's mainly international, that's mainly American. Do we have any kind of source which is Indian data?
I can't recall of any as such at this point in time.
So maybe we should come out with something like that.
Sure, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good at blog.
What I see, so I was managing my Knowlarity's Facebook page for some little bit of time. On Sunday night, there's like a lot of activity. I think everybody is kind of on Facebook. That is one thing that we see. But another thing that we see is there's very fast move towards mobile. So people consume media on mobile, and everybody knows about that. I think it's the extent that it has been is more than 50% internet access actually happening on mobile. The responsive design that you're talking about, mobile type, incredibly really useful. So the consumption mobile, and then on social media, I see in the evening the consumption just dramatically really increases. One thing that we discovered was it's kind of I don't know how true it is really in general, but we basically try to figure out why would somebody like a post. And it's fundamentally, we do very boring business really. So we posted PPX services. What viral video can you make out of it, right? It's like oh, never lose a business lead. Really cannot do anything really around it. So what we realized that we cannot talk about ourselves for things to be, or Facebook pages to be liked. And so what we decided was that there were 2 or 3 things that people kind of make people like a page or Facebook post. And one was it increases their self-esteem. So there's a group of employees, and then people who are using our customers who have come on our Facebook pages. For employees, anytime there was an award or some big thing that we did, and we run that story, employees will click it, right? Just tell everyone what a cool company that I work for. And in case of customers, what we realized was the customers who are really engaged, and if you say something about really exciting about the customers who are using our product, something good about those customers, right? Maybe something along the line of the people who are using advanced business products are likely to do well in the business. Something you have to serve the interest of the people, or give them some bragging right, or make them feel good about themselves, or make them feel like I am the expert in this area and I'm sharing with your friends. those fundamental emotions is what drive the like page and engagement, and those are the most engaging stories for us. So that is how we have been trying to think versus just talking about ourselves and expecting people to like nobody likes.
Moreover, Facebook page gives you insights about when your audience is online. So you can get an insight on when is your particular audience. So it depends from audience to audience, what kind of target audience you are dealing your page has. So it will tell you when are they online, what is the highest probability of them being online at that particular time. And that is
stats related to every post, how many people like and stuff. Does it just go to the detail of showing when people?
No. Yeah, the audience, it goes into the details of day on day, what time the highest peak your audience is available. Okay.
Which tool is that?
Facebook Insights tell you this.
No, I personally observed about your question, your very nice question. Indeed, in the morning, when nobody watches you, when boss is seeing their own mail, at that time everybody go for it, or late in the night or late in the evening. But normally, when the peak time goes, at that time nobody goes for these things. So basically, morning time and the late night, evening time, relaxed time is the time when they go for the.
It's also easy to discover, right? I mean, you can figure out about your own content, right?
Quickly tells you about what time the link was played. So it can be, according to my experience, it was better in the morning, early morning, and it was highest towards 8 to 10 o'clock in the night. Maybe at 10 o'clock it was the maximum.
But Facebook does not help you convert that.
I don't think Facebook has that.
Let's wrap.
Yeah, sure.
That was wonderful. That was really great. So as a quick introduction, this event was hosted by NITEE and NASCOM together. And NITEE is the Association of IT Startups, and we support IT startups. And Manish is a manager from NITEE. You can get in touch with him. And Mr. Vijitra is a senior member of NITEE. And on the behalf of NITEE, I would like to ask Ambarish to give a quick gift to the speakers so that they can.
I think they deserve a standing ovation.
Yeah, so really great.